On Monday evening, it was announced that the Premier League had reached a swift conclusion in its search for domestic broadcast partners for the 202,529 season. The record £6.7 billion means Newcastle will continue to benefit financially from TV rights. The Premier League said the deal was the largest sports media rights ever signed in UK. It was only October that Premier League invited tenders for next domestic rights cycle, aiming for an increase following transfer of last deal in 2021. This agreement was seen as a significant competitive win. It was negotiated in the middle of a pandemic where stadiums were closed to fans and the game found itself facing an unprecedented crisis. There a significant amount of uncertainty at time final agreement was signed for 20,222,025 domestic. Period. One of concerns whether football would continue to thrive and attract viewers, advertisers and broadcast partners. We are moving forward. The decision maintains status quo, maintain the same deal with Sky Sports. TNT Sports Amazon Prime Video between 2019-2022 was seen as a success, best way to chart a course. Achieve this. The challenges COVID-19 presents to sport. Read pundits all agree on Anthony Gordon or Marcus Rashford question as England call for growth. Read Newcastle diehards cheeky two-word response Sunderland makes FA Cup draw even better. The agreement on international rights in 2022, which was increased above value domestic clubs for the first time, was important in terms of how it benefited revenues member clubs. While this new agreement also has a remarkable headline figure domestically, it will be less effective but is still good news. The domestic deal for 202,225 stands at around £4.9 billion. The international deal was worth around £5 billion. The domestic deal was struck over 3 years, with 200 live games offered through various packages. This works out to £1.633 billion per season. The bulk of this money was distributed to member clubs through equal share payments and merit payments, divided between national and international rights. Sky Sports and TNT Sports are two parties to win the rights from 2025. Deal is now worth £6.7 billion. But it ran for 4 years instead of 3 and there were 270 live games available instead of 200. Amazon did not return. While sitting at the table, DAZN, which was tipped to make a game, was also not present. This meant an absence of broadcasters in the next cycle. This was a situation that disregarded the long-term future of live sports broadcasting as traditional paid packages were becoming more and more difficult. But while this £6.7 billion deal may at first glance seem like a massive £1.8 billion increase for Premier League, in extra year it means value of package has actually increased by £42 million per season, between £1.633 billion and £1.675 billion. And that includes an additional 70 games. To break this down further, the value placed on each game in the 202,225 season was around £8.16 million. In the 202,529 season, including extra games, this equates to